Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the maxed out powerhouse team in PvP and seeing how strong it really is with some max super specials. So, had a Bucks night on Saturday and did a couple more summons. There's 3 guarantees in life when it comes to me: death, taxes, and when I've had a few drinks, you best trust I'm gonna do more multis. But we did manage to pick up enough copies to rainbow our Big Mom category. With that, I basically just spammed posters because the super special of this particular character is absolutely ridiculous. At level limit break 5, they have all stats for 100% chance for all enemies and 100% chance to special bind them for 10 seconds. Then they give themselves a level 15 attack and defensive buff for 60 seconds and targets enemies with high HP for attack of 5 times damage. Now this is massive because obviously they have the defense, so this hits ridiculously hard. Then they target themselves for a 5 times counter stance and activate provoke, so basically all attacks are heading their way, and then they're throwing back damage, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So this particular super special is one that I've wanted for a little while. It's up there with Roger Rally Gaban. Roger Rally Gaban super special obviously is just a little bit better in my opinion, but what this particular super special does is still absolutely nuts, and both of them being only taking 2 specials makes it very easy to pop this off. Alongside that, we have the level limit break 5 of Kaido and King. Now I picked up a lot of Kaido King dupes when I was chasing the Roger Rally Gaban level limit break 5, and I managed to pick up enough to just be like 3 away. Managed to pick up 1 more with another multi, and here we are. So this particular character does seem incredibly strong when their super special goes off. The big downside to them, unlike Big Mom Katakuri, is you need to take 3 Rumble specials. Big Mom Katakuri also have a revive in their kit as well, which makes it infinitely easier to get the super special. You'll literally see it like 99.9% of fights, where the Kaido King super special, it's a lot harder to get. Most of the time they'll either die, the special will go off when you only have 2 charges instead of 3, and it can be a little bit annoying, but they give some really nice stats: level 8 attack, speed, and defense to Driven Powerhouse. They target all large enemies within a large range for 3.5 times damage, and then as long as you have 6 Driven or Powerhouse teammates, they target all enemies for 5.5 times attack, and then start healing themselves by giving them, and as well as giving them a level 5 CD buff. So this is really strong. The downside is if the enemy has like shitloads of defense, it's not bypassing defense, so like the damage does seem a little bit lackluster. However, Big Mom Katakuri, alongside this unit, can halve the defense, which makes it a little bit more illustrious. But this is the powerhouse team that we are rocking. It's pretty stock standard. It's been the same pretty much throughout all of my meta tier lists for the last couple months since the release of Big Mom Katakuri and Kaido and King. We do have Blackbeard pretty chunky there at 130 with limit break expansion. Maxed out Sanjuan Wolf, pretty chunky Pizarro there, and then the bench is just level limit break 4 Kuzan, maxed out Pell, and a maxed out Luffy. Very, very strong back end of the fight as well. And the team basically doesn't really die that much, to be honest. But is it the best team in the game? You guys let me know in the comment section below. With that said, let's dive into fights. Alright, so we're going to start it off with a pretty common defensive-based team. The Int team with Nami Karina definitely floats around a lot, and you'll probably see 2 different variations of this. One will be with Sabo, who's great because Sabo can still buff Nami Karina, and then the other one is usually with Bonnie, and this particular team obviously has a lot of firepower with Luffy and S-Hawk. The Blackbeard shenanigans are really, really powerful as well. You can throw Kuma on the bench, you can throw S-Hawk in there in the front, and then you've also got like Pell and Smoothie and other really good powerhouse characters that you can rock too. The Giants work exceptionally well too. So this one floats around quite a lot, and I thought I would showcase this one as just like a generic fight, and then we'll obviously dive into some challenge fights, which for me honestly are just like way better showcase stages than like most of the meta team fights. There is like a big ass shooter team that's floating around at the moment. That one's actually pretty hard to beat. I'd love to sort of take that on, but it's pretty hard to find when it comes to facing teams within the meta. So let's take a look at where we're at now. We have 1 charge on our Big Mom Katakuri and our Kaido and King. Kaido and King, they're best when taking on characters that can special bind, that can special reverse, because it basically just prolongs that super special charge. They're on a 36-second cooldown, which is actually beneficial for them, so that way you won't see that super special till a little bit later, but at the same time, you want to take damage, you want to take specials without actually dying. So ideally too, you want to go after Bizarro or you want to go after Big Mom Katakuri, so that way you guys can halve all of that defense and sort of do some fun stuff there. Big Mom Katakuri going there just does so much goddamn damage, bro. The damage that Big Mom Katakuri can do, like the 5 times after half stats, is just nuts. Now, obviously, there are some characters that are just immune to half stats, which makes it a little bit lackluster, and like strength teams especially, this particular powerhouse team can struggle with. It's a big reason why I do have the strength team probably a little bit higher than this team in terms of my rankings of like what are the best teams in the game. But don't get me wrong, like this team can definitely still put up a fight and it can still do some ridiculous things with the right like shuffle of particular characters. Because essentially like you can kind of make a powerhouse strength team, which is absolutely hilarious and it does absolutely wonderful things as well. So Kaido and King should basically wrap this up if we get their super special to actually go off. Again, this is just like a prime example of why Kaido King just really struggle compared to Big Mom Katakuri. Big Mom Katakuri just have already gone like well into the fight where we're still waiting at the 70-second mark. And finally, Kaido and King can go. But when it does go, they can hit ridiculously hard. 24k there is pretty nice. All right, so let's move into the first of the big 3 challenge fights. Weevil, then we'll take on the Slasher fight, and then we'll move into the Sentomaru fight. I feel like those 3 are probably the biggest and best showcase stages because a lot of like super special abilities maxed out, a lot of very powerful characters, and obviously they can run just disgusting legend lineups that just shouldn't really exist within the meta. So starting off with Weevil, this team does move very fast and hits very hard. They've got HP cards, they've got haste, they've got special binds. The special bind actually, again, works in our favor because Kaido and King really need to sort of prolong their special usage because most of the time you'll see their special pop off, you'll have 2 charges, and I feel like they would just be infinitely better if their super special only needed 2 specials to trigger. It would just, you'd see a lot less dying, you'd see the special actually like a lot more, and it would just be a lot more beneficial for 99% of fights. Big Mom Katakuri going early isn't too detrimental because you can then get them a little bit later. Again, they have that revive ability, which is just so ridiculously broken. So if they die with their super special, unlike Kaido King, they're going to come back and they're pretty much going to use it because they're so goddamn tanky. Having them in the middle slot doesn't hurt them at all. One downside to the character, though, is that they do clash with Sanjuan Wolf. Sanjuan Wolf also puts up a counter mechanic and also puts up a provoke mechanic. And if you have the super special of Big Mom Katakuri live, it will actually override that. So ideally, just like what you guys are about to see here, this is the perfect way of getting these specials to proc off. You really want to see Sanjuan Wolf go first, provide the provoke, provide the counter, then Big Mom Katakuri comes in, takes that provoke off Sanjuan Wolf, and then gives the bigger counter for themselves. That's the best way to go about it. Everyone else still has the counter, and there's no real clashing there. Big Mom Katakuri, man, like that 5-time shot is just so ridiculously strong. Kaido and King got their super special very early there, but because Big Mom Katakuri went and just killed 2 units, like you're realistically only going to see that hitting 3 characters, which sucks because like that special is really strong and it should be able to do quite a bit of damage even with some defense. But it's not like a team kill mechanic, which again really hurts Kaido and King, man. Like Kaido and King, that super special should just be like an instant win button. Like it should be able to come in and it should just decimate the entire team. But unfortunately, it does miss the mark in the sense that it doesn't do that. If only one of the shots, maybe the damage that hits a large range, the 3.5 went through defense. Like 3.5 times damage through defense is like so fucking much. It's so much damage and it will literally kill anything in its way. And then it obviously has the chance of whiffing as well. So that can be a problem, but at the same time, at least you're going to be getting like 1 to 2 kills, which is just better than just not killing anything at all. Alright, so let's move on to the Slash fight now. This one has a level limit break 5 Roger Rally Gaban. It also has level limit break 5 Sulongs. Sulong super special is ridiculous because it can pop off with death. And then they also have Odin Kinemon Dendro on the bench, who can be a massive problem with their forced out ability. Especially because we are rocking like predominantly a full driven frontline. So besides Bizarro, obviously. But the Odin Kinemon Dendro super special can be absolutely devastating for driven teams. However, it rocks the same issue that Kaido King have, where you need to take 3 specials. Most of the time you won't either see that or you just die before you even get a chance to actually go. So Blackbeard works great against slashes. I find Blackbeard just way more effective than Law. Even though Law is literally designed to take down slashes, Blackbeard for me just kind of does it better. He does have like a better lineup, even though strikers are sort of getting a little bit stronger within the meta nowadays, but Blackbeard's just the better half of that unit all round. Like in every facet, Blackbeard's better. Alright, so Big Mom Katakuri going pretty early. They're going to do a little bit of damage, apply some half stats, get some bulkiness up. The Sulong super special is ready to go. Did we special bind them there? Because you can bypass it. No, unfortunately we didn't. Damn, that sucks. Okay, so Sanjuan Wolf went fairly late, but that's okay. We now will be able to get the super special of Big Mom Katakuri. Roger Rally Gaban's going to hit us hard, like 10k. That was 10,000 damage on Big Mom Katakuri. Upside to Big Mom Katakuri too is they can't be hit with half stats. So they just don't die like Kaido and King does. Maybe Kaido and King, if they just were immune to half stats, that would just make the character infinitely better. Because you just wouldn't see them die as often. Like, they got 22 defense right now, but it gets halves to 11. And, like, 22 defense is a lot, man. You'd be able to survive for a pretty long time. But as you can see there, we are still sitting on the 2 charge rather than a super special that would have gone literally straight after or before that. Oof, forced out on our Big Mom category and our... That's at both our defensive units right there. S-Hawk should have a special too, right? If S-Hawk has a special, like, everyone's dead. Oh, Brook just killed everyone. Really? Okay, well, S-Hawk would have killed him anyway, so... Alright, this is, this one's gonna be tight. It's going to be tight, and this is why slashers can do wonderful, wonderful things. The Roger Ellie Command special, man, it's pretty devastating. It is pretty devastating. Kuma, ooh, Kuma special's almost ready to go. That could be fun. Nope, didn't go off, unfortunately. Oh no, he's back. There he is. Very nice. The depth of the bench for the Powerhouse team too is just absolutely insane. You could run Pell like in the front of the bench if you really want to just sort of like hone in on the Powerhouse shenaniganry. However, I do find with the Powerhouse team, the front line does lack a little bit of damage, and that is a product of Kaido and King not going through defensive effects. So having Luffy right off rip can help out just drastically with damage. However, you can pretty much run him in the front lines if you really want to, and I do find that this particular setup works just a little bit nicer because Luffy has a team kill mechanic where Kaido and King really doesn't. Kaido and King can wipe out the entire team with their super special, but you have to, 1, get the super special, and 2, be in a position where the damage is going to bypass the enemy's defensive effects somehow. Luffy, you don't have to worry about that. Luffy's hitting 6 units no matter what. It doesn't matter if he has a super special. It doesn't matter if he has a regular special. He is just consistent across the board with what he is doing with his damage output. And again, that's what I think Kaido and King should have been. Big Mom Katakuri, they hold it down in the middle slot. They're immune to half stats. They have a revive. You see their super special 99.9% of the time. For the team, Big Mom Katakuri are like a perfect unit. But what Kaido and King are trying to do, being the damage output for the team, just really struggle. And most of the time when it comes to Powerhouse nowadays, I actually run it like this. This is how I sort of operate it, because once Luffy gets his special off, he is basically taking out some of those crazy ass characters in the front. Kaido and King with their regular special, they're not doing that. It is what it is. So running Luffy in the front can just be way more detrimental for opposition, and moving down the line, I do think that Kaido and King will probably fall out of the team a lot faster than something like Big Mom Katakuri will. Definitely fall out of the team first when it comes to needing a new insane legend. Kaido and King is basically that character that's just gonna be taken out, because as you guys see there with Luffy, like, Kaido and King just doesn't do that. Again, even with their super special, they just don't do that. So let me know what you guys think of the Powerhouse driven sort of setup. I know a lot of people like to run cross guild with this setup as well. Just replace Kaido King with cross guild, slap them in the middle, because the team is predominantly driven focused as well. Besides Bizarro in the front, besides obviously Luffy as well, and like Pell and Kuma obviously, but you can definitely do that for some shenanigans of rollback and whatnot, and that team works out fantastically as well. But is the Powerhouse team scary? Yeah, goddamn right it is. It's a damn scary team, but is it the best team in the game? You guys let me know in the comment section below. But while you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's